Hello everybody and welcome back to another little live stream. So I hope everyone's doing well. Let me know if you can hear me okay and if all the audio video side of things is working all right. And if it is, today's little live stream is just a bit of an impromptu one, as they often are with the live streams, which is part of what I like about them. And I just wanted to share some recent acquisitions because I didn't really get time to put out a more produced video this week. So thanks for joining. And if you are watching this post-stream, I hope you still enjoy it, and just keep in mind that it will be a bit of a slower pace compared to the other videos I usually put out. But I'm really enjoying doing these live streams on a weekly to bi-weekly basis. So just looking at the chat. Cool. Looks like everything's working okay. And yeah, assuming it is, what I want to share today is a couple of things mainly to do with zines and expired film, as you can probably guess from the title of this live stream, and just making sure the bitrate is okay because I'm getting a little bit of a warning, but I think it's all right. And two of the main zines I wanted to share, one of them I purchased about a month ago from a friend of mine and fellow photographer. His name is Ben Neo, and this one is called Burn Like Fire. So Ben is a local Melbourne-based photographer. I've actually done an interview with him on the channel quite a while ago now. And if you look through the channel in the playlist I have for interviews, you'll find it there. It was called Wander, and it was about his experience shooting in Vietnam. Ben travels to Vietnam a fair bit. I think he's going to be joining this live stream. I had a quick chat to him before this stream because he didn't actually know I was sharing his zine on the live stream, but then he saw the thumbnail because he watches the channel, and he messaged me and said, hey, I really appreciate your sharing the zine on the channel. I saw it was on the thumbnail. And he's actually just messaged just before me going live saying he would like to give away a copy of this zine, which is great. So a little bit more on the zine. It was something he did in a very small run. I think it was about 30 copies. And Ben, if you are watching now or later, correct me if I'm wrong. And it was mainly to raise a bit of money to give to a disadvantaged friend back in Vietnam, which is a really nice little cause. And I liked the actual content of the zine's really nice too. I don't think it was shot on film, but regardless of that, Ben does shoot a fair bit of film, and this is really a nice body of work. I'll try and just give you a really quick little skip through to give you an idea. He put a lot of thought into the layout of the zine, which I really like, the sequencing, and it's beautifully printed as well. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, it's sort of on like a matte finish, which I quite like, and it's called Burn Like Fire. So hello to everyone who's in the chat who's just messaged. Toronto, Texas, Sweden, wow. Thanks everyone for joining. I've only recently started to do these streams on weekdays because normally I thought it would be a weird time in the middle of the day on a weekday for everyone, but then I realized with the worldwide time difference, it works out pretty well regardless. Dallas, Texas, Mexico. Nice. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so it's a busy week, and I decided to put out this quick little stream because I'm going to be heading to Sydney tomorrow. And if you're on the Discord server, you know I've just started to put a little conversation out about the possibility of doing a meetup in Sydney, and it looks like we're doing one on Saturday morning because I have the morning free, and going to wake up early, do some shooting at sunrise, and then proceed to a different part of town. And the details are still being finalized, but feel free to join the Discord server. I'll put the link for that in the description of this video. If you are from Sydney, there's a meetups thread in the server where we're just discussing the details now. And I'm going to try and, just meet a few Sydney photographers that I've chatted to before. And that's going to bring me to the second zine. So before I move on to that, just to remind you, Ben has kindly decided to give away a copy of his zine, Burn Like Fire, to one of the viewers of the channel. And it was only just discussed 15-20 minutes before starting the stream. So what I'm thinking to do is just have you guys, anyone who's watching this live or even later, as long as you're watching it within a week, because I'm going to draw someone within a week, leave a comment on the video and go follow Ben. So I'm going to show you his Instagram. I've put his Instagram link in the description. But let me just switch to another view here just so you can get an idea of his work. It's Ben Neo Photo, and he does some great work on film and digital. I think he's been posting a lot of film lately, and there's some Kodak Vision stuff here. It's really nice. He's done a few road trips since Melbourne's lockdown ended. And as mentioned, the Burn Like Fire zine was something that he did to raise a bit of money, that he mainly just recuperated the cost of the zine because it was produced in a very small run, really high quality printing. And yeah, check him out, give him a follow and leave a comment. And then in a week from today, I'll draw someone with a random comment generator who Ben will send out a copy of the zine free of charge. So that's a really nice little effort there and cause. And I'm not sure if he has copies left to sell. I sent a message to ask him, but I haven't heard back yet. I didn't get time to check while I was setting up for this live stream. But yeah, check out Ben's work. It's really nice stuff. And if you feel like it, check out the interview I did with him on the channel. I'm sure that things have changed for him a fair bit since then in terms of his photographic growth and journey. But regardless, yeah, I'm really grateful to Ben for that. And I love the zine. Bought my copy a few weeks ago, or maybe more, probably a month or two ago now. And yeah, I really like it on the collection. All right. Another zine I'm sharing is one that was actually sent to me by, just for free, really nice of the person who sent it to me. His name's Perry, and it's called One Day. And let me just switch back to a bigger screen here so you guys can see it better. Yeah, it's a smaller zine, square format. And One Day, or Isang Aro, which I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's a South or Southeast Asian language, maybe Bahasa or Tagalog, I'm guessing, Filipino. But photographs by Perry Carbonell, 35mm and 120 film. And it's just a nice little zine with a bit of a sort of what I described as a peaceful feel to it. And he shot it on lazy weekend mornings in New South Wales, so he's from Sydney. There's a nice little note there that he wrote for me, so I don't know if he's watching, but I really appreciate that. I'm going to be meeting up with Perry and a few other guys in Sydney when I'm going over there on the weekend, so yeah, really nice stuff. I'm not sure, again, if he's selling copies of this. I think he is. He just hasn't really advertised it much, but this is all shot on film, 120 and 35mm. Really nice stuff, just sort of documentary work, a bit of minimalist sort of style, clean. Again, that peaceful sort of feel to it. Street and urban photography. And he also does some really great work outside of this zine. So I'll quickly show you his Instagram page where you can check him out. I've also put a link to his work or his Instagram page in the description, but it's the 3-shot, as you can see there, and really great stuff with that Sydney vibe to it. A lot of beaches and great portrait work as well. A lot of work on film as far as I can see, and I've discussed with him. He shoots a fair bit of film. And yeah, definitely check out his work as well. The 3-shot on Instagram. So I really appreciate that, sending in the zine. I always feel honored to even have people suggest that they want to send me something for free, because I'm always happy to buy people's work as well, but he just really wanted to send a copy. He didn't even ask me to do anything or share it, no expectation, but I decided to share it on this live stream just to kind of share great work with you guys in case you're interested in checking it out. All right. So I had this in the thumbnail, and a lot of this you might think, well, how is it relevant? It's not really film photography related. But one of the things that I recently picked up, since this video is about recent acquisitions, was just this little daily planner. Nothing too exciting, but because the year's coming to an end, I quite like these small A6 pocket-sized planners. I was using a Moleskine one before this, which is just over there, but that's a black version in a similar size, slightly smaller. And I'm just, yeah, really into, ever since last year, I haven't always been like this. I've sort of dipped into it before, but I've since last year really gotten into handwriting my notes and daily plans and schedules and things. And I've really found that I end up sticking to it a lot more as opposed to using something on my phone, which I still do in combination with this. But I've found that having a little planner has become invaluable. And I like the look of these Lecterm ones. So yeah, another little pick up there. Are any of you guys into sort of, handwritten planners and notes and things like that, diaries? Let me know. And I wasn't too sure if anyone would be interested in this stuff, but I guess if you're into analog photography, you might be interested in this sort of stuff. So Edmund, when I mentioned I'm done shooting expired film, this shows up Nice. And 256 asking, how long into the year do you bail on that planner? See, that's what I used to do. I think when I was in uni, I tried using planners a few times, but this last one, I can show you actually. This last one, I've really found myself using every week. I try and plan out the week because it's a weekly style one, and I've really sort of gone through every week and not every single day, but it's been really handy. And it's just a quick way to really quick check forward or back on something. And I like using a bit of color coding and just all kinds of little projects and things to remember and notes in this little planner. So that's about to run out. So I bought the new one. I didn't bail on it this time. I did the whole year. So that's why 2021, I've decided to do another one. And I'm going to try and keep these so I can look back on them later on if I ever want to. Miles, streaming from Scotland. Hey, thanks. Thanks for joining, man. Welcome. I use bullet journaling so I don't forget what to do. Nice. Yeah, I'm not the best at note taking, but I'm trying to pick up and learn a bit more about it. All right. So on to the second part of this live stream in terms of what I wanted to share with recent acquisitions, and that's expired film that I've recently gotten my hands on. And let me just, actually I won't switch views. Let me just show you here. One of these is a pack, a 5-pack of 120 Fuji NPS 160. So it's a 160 color negative film by Fuji that was discontinued a while ago. I actually bought this from a fellow photographer and YouTuber named Garth Murphy from the UK. It expired in 2005, but he put out a post. Garth recently became a dad, so definitely head over and congratulate him and check out his stuff if you haven't before. You may have heard of him if you watch this channel, but his channel name is Murphy's Film. And he put out a post on his Instagram story saying he was selling off some film, downsizing from medium format and focusing, I think, on 35mm, and he's just getting rid of some stuff in his fridge. And I said, hey, that Fuji 160, I've always loved Fuji 160 NS, the new version, but I never shot NPS. So I asked, how much for that? And a couple of other films. So I bought this and some FP4. And he was also kind enough to throw in a roll of Portra 160 VC as well, which I've misplaced the roll for now, but you probably saw it in the screenshot on the thumbnail. But he threw in a roll of Lomography 800 and Portra 160 VC, which I've never shot. I've shot NC, so that was really nice of him. I got them in the mail a week or two later, and I've already shot a roll. So if you like, I'm going to quickly show you some of the results from this film. It held up pretty well. I only overexposed it about a stop. But let's switch to another view here. Okay, get a bit of a feedback loop here, but this is the Fuji NPS 160. It has a pretty flat look, and this may be partially due to the scan, but if I just put up an image here, on streaming, you may not get a great idea of it, but it has that sort of classic Fuji look, really nice, cool tones, blues, greens, and it's scanned up and exposed quite well. I think I rated it at 80 or 100, roughly, somewhere in between there in the Pentax 6.7. And yeah, really like the results I got with it. These were developed and scanned at Halide. You can see plenty of nice detail. The shadows held up quite nicely, and not too much in terms of color shifting. Maybe there's a little bit of magenta, but they're really quite nice. They're flat. There's a bit of room to bring down the black and white points to add some contrast to these images. And I didn't get a whole 5. I think there were 4 left in the pack. So I've got 3 left. But yeah, really nice stuff. So thanks to Garth for that one. And if you ever get the chance to check out this film or even the new Fuji 160 NS, it's a really nice film. And Josh, frames per second, is saying NPS was a precursor to the 160 NS. Yep, that's right. Recently picked up 2 rolls in 220. Nice. Both these stocks I absolutely love from the film fella. Yeah, really nice, underrated films. And it's a pity that we don't get them in Australia. And I think they're probably both discontinued now. I don't know if Japan still sells the NS. The last time I was there, they still did. But I always used to pick up that film whenever I saw it in stock at the shop I used to work at, which wasn't often because not many people would buy it. But another shot here, just to give you an idea. Beautiful stuff. Similar to 400H, I guess, is the closest modern thing you can find to it. Sarah on the hammock there. Yeah, love it. So what I wanted to share with you on this topic, sorry, I've got displays happening all over the place here. I'll bring it back up. Is yeah, Garth's channel on YouTube. So if you don't follow him, I've put a link to his channel in the description as well. And I seem to have lost my mouse cursor. Okay, that happens sometimes with the streaming software. Okay, it's not cooperating. Sorry, guys. Give me one moment. I've lost all my screens here. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, so I bought that off him, the Portra 160 VC. I'm yet to try, but I'm gonna maybe load that maybe in Sydney. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take a medium format camera yet. I would like to. But yeah, just check out the description for the link to Garth's channel. I'll just try it one more time and see if it lets me. Oh, here we go. Cool. So Murphy's Film on YouTube, and he actually made a video about shooting this exact film that I ended up buying the rest of. I think that was this one here. So check out his channel, really good stuff from the UK. And that's Murphy's Film. All right, so next expired film I got my hands on recently was also some Fuji film stock. And that was Fuji Superia 800. So if any of you guys have shot Superia Venus 800, I believe they're the same stock. This one was discontinued not as long ago as the NPS. And I really loved shooting this film, or the Venus variant, which was the Japanese domestic version of it. Whenever I could get my hands on it, it was a great 800 speed option. But again, pity that they discontinued it. And I bought 5 rolls from an ex-colleague who was selling some, and that's a roll of it here. I also managed to shoot a roll of it already. And I'm going to try and share some results with you on that, but let me just bring up the chat again because I lost the chat window. Cool, so Anna saying, thanks for streaming and making videos. There are not that many Aussies making photography videos. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that. Yeah, there's more and more Aussies making YouTube videos and photography stuff. It's just a slower growing, I think, demographic, but I actually made a video / live stream about that very subject maybe a couple of months ago. So if you look back in the discussion playlist, or back on the channel history, you'll find one called Aussie YouTube channels. And I've probably mentioned quite a few of them, done a couple of chats with some. And yeah, there's a few new ones that have been popping up, and even more since I did that video. So definitely check some of them out, including Josh, who's here on the chat under frames per second. And Roberto, oh sorry, Josh saying, there's a lot of shipping delays from Fuji to Australia. Recently bought a roll of 120 NS from Decisive Moment. Seems like stock is most likely just in Japan these days. That's what it seems like. Roberto, when do you decide to overexpose one stop or not to on expired film? So the general rule of thumb that a lot of people say is that with every decade the film's expired, you overexpose one stop. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but it's something that is a good guide to go off. Sorry guys, I hope the audio is still okay. Just the microphone sort of dropped a little bit. Yeah, so in the case of the NPS, it was almost 20 years expired, but I think I only overexposed one stop. And part of the reason was I didn't want to lose that much speed and end up shooting it at like 50 or whatever. So I decided to overexpose just the one stop. Okay, sorry about that. I'm done with the microphone. So yeah, the NPS, that's the rule I went by, but you can break the rules. Just keep in mind that you might get a bit less shadow detail the more the film's expired, and obviously so much depends on how it was stored as well. Josh says, always found the Venus more saturated and contrast and extra. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because I shot both side by side. I didn't find any difference personally, but if you're saying the data sheets were showing differences, then I'm sure there probably was some subtle difference. It's really hard to get film up here in central Queensland, but I'll have to source some. Yeah, if you can get your hands on this, get it, because it's going to soon be like Natura, where it's going to be really hard and really expensive. Luckily, I paid a pretty decent price from my friend. I think it was like somewhere around $10 a roll, roughly, Australian dollars, which is pretty good for 800 speed film. Okay, randomly woke up early here in the UK. Glad I did. Yeah, it's probably pretty early there in the morning. Thanks for joining. If it was frozen, you can shoot at box speed. Yeah, that too. So if your film was really well cold stored, it can be expired 10, 20 years and you have no issues. And if you guys saw the video I did where I shot expired AGFA 100 speed film, I overrated that one stop and I probably didn't even need to. That was expired in the 90s. So I think it was cold stored, which is good. However, the Superia Venus, or sorry, Extra 800 that I've got only expired in 2018. No real need to overexpose this, but with my Fuji 800, I would often overexpose it a bit anyway, which would be somewhere between 400 and 640, which is what I did on the first roll I shot after picking up the film from my friend. And I needed it for a shoot. I was doing a portrait shoot, and I've got some photos here to show you, so I'll bring them up. Let's see. All right. Sorry guys, just switching windows here. Cool, I'll show you the contact sheet. This will give you a good idea of the look of this film if you've never really seen it or shot it. And the cool thing about the place I got this roll done, which is Halide Supplies, they give you a contact sheet, digital contact sheet of all your shots. And yeah, you can kind of see and get an idea here of the film. Has that nice punchy saturation and good skin tones. It generally has a bit of a magenta sort of cast to it. I always found that with the Fuji 800 and even the 1600, but it's a really nice look. And of course, being a high-speed film, it works well for the type of shoot I was doing, which was an evening, late afternoon sort of shoot on a cloudy day with a bit of indoor stuff as well. So this is for a musician who's doing an interview for a magazine that I sometimes shoot for. And I just did some sort of editorial style shots of him. Obviously, with some of this lighting being tungsten light, I just need to correct the white balance. But besides that, I'm really happy with the way these shots came out. And it reminded me why I loved shooting this film, this Superia 800 or even the Venus 800. And I'll try and just quickly just show you some of the favorites I got, like this one here. Yeah, really happy with shots like this one on the Leica MA with Zeiss 50 and 35mm lens. Just going to quickly buzz through some of these, give you an idea. Yeah. So if, again, you get your hands on some of this film, try it out. It's really good stuff. Grain is pretty good for an 800 speed. I would just recommend overexposing it a little bit to tame some of that grain, give it a smoother look, a little bit more detail in the shadows. And as I would recommend with any color negative film, to be honest, just use the same rule. But the colors on Fuji 800 are fantastic, really good stuff. Beautiful in artificial light, which is why I had this film in mind when I decided to do this shoot. All right, so that's pretty much the majority of what or all of what I wanted to share with you guys today. Thanks for joining on this stream. It was a bit of a last minute thing, as I mentioned, as it often is, because of the time restraints I've been under at the moment. I had a bit of work and stuff to do and preparing for heading to Sydney tomorrow. So yeah, there might not be any produced videos for a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the rest of the year off because I'm away for a little bit and then going away again in other later parts of the month. But I'm going to see what I can do. If anything, maybe I'll do some more live streams. I really appreciate being able to stay in touch with you guys, both through this and the Discord and Instagram and all that stuff. So thanks for joining. If anyone has anything they want to mention or discuss in the live chat, please feel free to do so now. If you are watching this later on, leave a comment. Again, go back to the beginning of the video if you missed it because of the zine that Ben's giving away. And speaking of which, Ben's in the comments. Love the look of the old Astia film in 120 format. Now, new or expired, beautiful tones. Yeah, Astia is a slide film and it was aimed at portraiture as far as I know. I've only shot it in 35mm. It's great stuff. Film fellow looks great. Thanks, man. I'm assuming that was in regards to the Fuji 800. Jonathan got some expired Velvia and Ektachrome and 4x5 from 2003-4. Not tried any of it yet, but could have resist as it was cheap. Couldn't resist as it was cheap. Cool. Yeah, it's hard. When you find a good deal on expired film, I know what that's like. It's hard to resist snapping it up because you know that the film may not be available for a long time. Sorry, I had it on the other window. Roberto, thank you for sharing. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I know that I'm not the only one who enjoys nerding out on these things, so I thought some of you guys would appreciate this stuff. I got to get a better microphone stand. This one sort of slips a lot. Josh telling Jonathan, make sure you don't overexpose expired slide. Yeah, Yeah, generally I find that's the rule as well. Even if it's quite expired, overexposure doesn't seem to help it. If it's going to have color shifts, it's going to have color shifts. If you overexpose it, you're probably just going to lose highlights. So I would agree with that you generally don't need to overexpose expired slide unless it's really, really expired and you know that it's not holding as much latitude at all. You can overexpose a little bit. But yeah, not the same as color negative. Base Jam, thank you. Thanks for watching. Cool. So yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to share some of those recent acquisitions with you. Have any of you guys got your hands on any stuff? I know some people already mentioned the expired film they got. Feel free to leave a comment if you end up watching this after the stream. As I mentioned, go back to the beginning of the video if you missed that and get the chance to win the giveaway that Ben's doing on the zine. He's giving away a free copy. So just leave a comment on this video. Follow him on Instagram. I've got the link in the description and he'll post you a free copy of his zine, which would be great to have on your bookshelf. And yeah, that's really nice, I guess, if you win that. So someone just picked up Veronica. Nice. I'm guessing maybe a medium format ETR or SQ or something. Let me know. 5:30 a.m. where you are. Jonathan, glad I got here just in time. Yeah, thanks for joining. And as I mentioned last time, I was generally doing these live streams on Sundays because I thought that would be it was most convenient for me, but now my schedule's a bit all over the place. And I realized that people tend to be able to join from different corners of the world because their free time, varies depending where they are. So I'm just doing live streams whenever I get the chance now and trying to do one at least every week or two. Veronica EC, cool. It's amazing. Nice. I haven't actually heard of that one. I'm going to look it up after this. All right, guys. So I think I'll end things there. Thanks for joining this live stream. I appreciate the support on the videos as usual. On that note, if you watched the last one, it was the first video that Sarah, my partner, did or hosted on her own. There were some other videos, quite a few other videos she has been in, but this was the first one after a lot of wrangling and convincing that I had her review or asked her to review her Minolta X700. And she did really well. And the praise on that video has been really good. A few people even said you should replace Hashem and do all the talking on the videos because you get to the point quicker, which I tend to agree with. And she did amazingly, so I'm really happy. And she was always a bit resistant because, there's that fear that we've all had before doing something like making a YouTube video that even I remember having quite a lot and not wanting to be behind the camera. And yeah, she went for it, did really well, and it gave her that confidence to think that this could be something I would do again in the future. So hopefully I'll have more of Sarah on the channel if she wants to, if she has the time, and to do videos like that review or other videos. And I'll keep including her, of course, in any other personal life stuff that she's in terms of my photography or vlogs or whatever. So yeah, thanks to everyone on her and my behalf for the support on that video and in general on the channel. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week and weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.